There's a $7 item sitting in aisle 9 at Walmart right now that will outperform every tactical rig Amazon just quietly delisted before Christmas. And a retired Army Ranger I spoke with last week called it the one thing every civilian gets wrong. Amazon is scrubbing prepper gear off its shelves right now. Not next month. Right now. 7 specific items that were sitting there in October are gone, restricted, or temporarily unavailable with no return date. And nobody in the mainstream is talking about why. I'll show you the exact item Rangers are stockpiling instead, and it's under $10. Number 3 on this list is something you already have in your garage, but you've been storing it in the one place that guarantees it fails when you need it most. And the item at number 1? It's been pulled from 3 major retailers in the last 90 days. A former Ranger sergeant told me the reason, and once you hear it, you'll understand why he bought 40 of them before they disappeared. Stay with me. Because if you miss the item at number 2, you're going to be the guy standing in a Walmart parking lot at 3 in the morning wondering why your bug-out plan just collapsed. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. The prepper industry has been selling you $50 solutions to $7 problems for a decade. And now, right as things are getting genuinely uncertain, the $7 items are the ones disappearing. Not the $400 bug-out bags, not the Instagram-friendly tactical vests, the cheap, boring, ugly stuff. The stuff that actually works. Because when the grid drops, and I'm not saying if, I'm saying when you have less than 6 hours before every shelf within 30 miles of you is stripped bare. 6 hours. That's it. And the guys who've actually been downrange, the guys who've watched infrastructure collapse in real time, they don't shop the same aisles you do. Number 7 is useful. Number 4 will save your life. Number 1, most Americans have never even heard of it. Let's get into it. Number 7. The item that started disappearing from Amazon back in September, and nobody noticed. I'm talking about tincture of iodine. Not tablets, not the fancy filtered bottles. The little brown 2-ounce glass bottle you used to be able to grab at any pharmacy for under $4. It's been quietly restricted, reclassified, and pulled from major online retailers over the last year. You can still find it, but you have to know where to look. A former Marine Corps hospital corpsman I've known for 15 years guy did 2 tours in Fallujah told me flat out, if I had to walk out of a city with 1 medical item in my pocket, it wouldn't be a first aid kit. It'd be a bottle of iodine tincture. 2 drops purifies a quart of water. Straight application stops a wound from going septic. It treats fungal infections that will cripple your feet in 72 hours of hard walking. 1 bottle does the work of 6 different products in a store-bought kit. And here's what they don't tell you. The reason it's disappearing isn't a conspiracy. It's simpler than that. It's cheap, it lasts forever, and there's no subscription model attached to it. So the algorithm buries it. Let that sink in. Number 6. And this one's going to sound backwards, but stay with me, because the reason will shock you. Wool blankets, not the emergency Mylar sheets, not the poly fleece stuff Costco sells in winter. Actual military surplus wool. The itchy, heavy, ugly kind your grandfather had in the back of his truck. Amazon has been restricting third-party military surplus sales for 18 months. What used to be a $30 wool blanket from a genuine surplus store is now a $70 tactical throw made in a factory that also produces yoga mats. It's not the same product. It's not even close. A retired Green Beret I sat across from at a diner in Tennessee last spring told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Son, wool will keep you alive when it's wet. Cotton will kill you. Synthetic will melt to your skin near a fire. There's a reason every army in history until about 1995 issued wool." Then he pointed at his truck. He had 2 of them folded behind his seat, not for camping, for the drive home. And wait until you hear what he keeps in the wheel well, because that ties directly into number 3, the item you already own, but are storing completely wrong. Number 5. This one vanished from 3 major online retailers between August and November, and it's the one that made me start paying attention to this whole pattern. Potassium iodide tablets. Yeah, the thyroid-blocking tablets you take in a nuclear scenario. $14 a bottle a year ago. Now, either unavailable, back-ordered until spring, or being sold by third-party resellers for $80 a pack. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you the grid is about to melt down. I'm telling you what I'm seeing. The supply is being quietly squeezed, and nobody's issuing a press release about it. A former Air Force radiation health specialist guy who worked at 3 different bases, including one you've heard of, told me this: the average American thinks a nuclear event means a mushroom cloud on their front lawn. It doesn't. It means a reactor incident 400 miles away, and a wind pattern that carries particulates into your county for 72 hours. Potassium iodide isn't paranoid. It's insurance. You want to know the crazy part? A bottle used to cost less than a large pizza. Now you can't get one at any price on the 2 biggest retail sites in America. That same specialist told me the item at number 1 is the one he keeps in his glove box, not his safe, not his bug-out bag, his glove box. We'll get to why in about 4 minutes. Number 4. And this one's going to sting a little, because most of you already spent money on the wrong version of it. Analog land-based communication. Specifically, a Baofeng U5R handheld radio paired with a printed local repeater directory. Now I know what half of you are thinking. I've got a cell phone. I've got a satellite messenger. I've got a GMNARS setup. Great. All of those depend on infrastructure you don't control. Cell towers go down first, usually within the first 90 minutes of a serious incident. Satellite services get overwhelmed or restricted. But a $25 handheld radio, programmed with your local frequencies, will still talk to somebody 20 miles away when nothing else works. Amazon quietly pulled a bunch of these from the marketplace last year, citing FCC compliance issues. Some are back. Most of the affordable models aren't. The exact model that used to cost $29 is now $49 if you can find it in stock. A friend of mine spent 8 years as a combat communications specialist in the Army, told me something that stuck. He said, "The guys who survive aren't the ones with the fanciest gear. They're the ones who practiced with the cheapest gear until it became second nature. He runs drills with his handheld every Sunday morning, costs him $0, buys him a skill nobody can take from him. That's the difference between a prepper and a survivor. One buys, the other trains." All right, we're halfway there. And here's where it gets interesting, because number 3 is the item you already own. You probably have 2 or 3 of them in your house right now, and I promise you, you are storing them in the exact wrong place. Number 3. Standard alkaline batteries, specifically AA and D cells. Now, before you click away thinking, batteries? Really? Hold on, because the item itself isn't the story. The story is what's happening to them right now, sitting in your junk drawer. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Alkaline batteries lose 30% of their charge over 5 years just sitting on a shelf at room temperature. But store them in a garage that swings from 90 degrees in July to 20 degrees in January, which is where 90% of you are storing your emergency batteries, and that 30% loss becomes 60, sometimes 70. And they'll leak. And when they leak, they destroy the flashlight, the radio, the headlamp you were counting on. A retired Ranger Sergeant 22 years in, 3 deployments walked me through his gear layout last summer. Every single battery he owns is stored in the interior of his house in a sealed ammo can wrapped in a thin plastic bag. Not in the garage, not in the truck, not in the shed. And every one of them has a date written on it in permanent marker. He rotates them like food. He told me, gear doesn't fail you, storage fails you. Read that again. Gear doesn't fail you, storage fails you. Now the item you switched to already, the lithium ones? Better shelf life, yes, but they're also the ones Amazon has been restricting shipment of because of aviation regulations, which means when supply gets tight, the alkalines are what's left. And if yours are ruined from bad storage, you've got nothing. Number 2, and this is the one that if you miss, you'll be the guy standing in the parking lot at 3 in the morning wondering what went wrong. Physical paper maps. Specifically a Delorme Atlas and Gazetteer for your state, and a topographical map of every county within 200 miles of your home. I know. It sounds boring. It's not tactical. It's not sexy. Nobody's making a TikTok video about a spiral-bound atlas. But listen, GPS goes down. Cell service goes down. Google Maps requires data. When those 3 fail, and they will fail together, because they share the same infrastructure, the guy with a $25 atlas is the only guy on the road who knows where he's going. Delorme atlases have been getting harder to find. Some states are out of print entirely right now. And the topo maps? The federal supply has been shrinking for years. A former Army Special Forces engineer sergeant told me a story I'll never forget. Back in 2003, he was moving through a region where every piece of digital navigation had been jammed. His team was operating off laminated paper maps and a compass. He said the younger guys in his unit, the ones who came up on GPS, couldn't read terrain, couldn't identify a ridgeline, couldn't estimate distance without a screen telling them. And he told me, when I got home, the first thing I did was teach my kids how to read a paper map. Not because I thought the world was ending, because I watched grown men freeze when the screens went dark. Grown men. Trained soldiers. Froze, because they never learned the analog version of a skill they used every day. Now imagine a civilian, in traffic, in a crisis, whose entire sense of direction has been outsourced to a device that just went dark. All right, number 1. This is the one a former Ranger Sergeant bought 40 of before it disappeared. This is the one that costs less than a gallon of gas. This is the one that ties every other item on this list together. Ready? Number 1. And this is going to feel anticlimactic for about 6 seconds until I tell you why. A high-lumen, single-Ah battery flashlight. Specifically the Streamlight ProTac 1L or the equivalent Fenix E12. Retail, usually between $18 and $28. Now I know. A flashlight. That's it? That's number 1? Here's what changes everything. It's not just a flashlight. It's a flashlight that runs on the exact battery you already stockpiled in number 3. It's small enough to fit in the same pocket as your Baofeng from number 4. It doesn't need a proprietary charger. It doesn't need lithium cells that get flagged in shipping. It doesn't need an app. It doesn't need Wi-Fi. It doesn't need anything except one boring, common, universally available battery. That same Ranger Sergeant I mentioned earlier? He bought 40 of these before Streamlight had a supply chain issue 2 years ago. 40. I asked him why. He looked at me like I was slow and said, because when everything else in your kit runs out or breaks, you'll still need to see in the dark. And a man who can see when nobody else can, that man is in charge of the room. That's it. That's the whole point. Not the flashlight itself. The principle behind it. Standardize your power source. One battery type across every critical item. No proprietary anything. No specialty chargers. No systems that fail together. The guys who've actually lived through infrastructure collapse real ones, not YouTube ones. They don't own 37 different pieces of gear. They own 6 pieces that all run on the same fuel. And that's the secret Amazon can't sell you, because it doesn't come in a box. It comes from thinking like the guys who did this for a living. Let that land for a second. Everything you own that requires a battery should run on the same battery. If it doesn't, you're building a system designed to fail one component at a time. And there's one more thing nobody talks about. One more item that didn't make the numbered list, because it's not something you buy. It's something you do. Practice. Actual, boring, unglamorous practice. Every single one of the guys I mentioned in this video, the Ranger, the Green Beret, the Corpsman, the Radiation Specialist, the SF Engineer, every one of them told me some version of the same thing. Gear doesn't save you. Practice saves you. The guy with a $5,000 bug-out bag who's never spent a night outside is more vulnerable than the guy with a $200 kit who runs a drill every weekend. Take your flashlight out tonight. Turn off every light in your house. Try to make a cup of coffee in the dark. See what you fumble with. See what falls. See how your family reacts. That's your training. That's your edge. And it costs nothing. Here's what's coming next. In my next video, I'm breaking down the 3 states where retired special operations guys are quietly relocating to right now and why most Americans have never heard of number 2. It's not Idaho. It's not Montana. It's not Texas. And once you see the reasons behind it, you're going to understand why the map of safe America is being redrawn without a single headline about it. Stay ready. Stay skeptical, and keep your batteries out of the garage.